Anunnaki origins, birth of the gods. What is up, everyone? Welcome to the Cub Kuker Supernatural Podcast. My name is Jacob Kuker, but my friends call me Cub, and you should call me Cub too. I've got some brand new artwork I've been working on behind me for this brand new series. This is exploring the origins of the Anunnaki gods. We are going to be looking at all manner of different spiritual texts, sacred text, mythological text, and everything in between. What's up, Tyler June? How are you, my friend? I hope you're having a beautiful day. Mira, what is up? Welcome. Thanks for joining us. Big Pete, thanks for being here. 9 seconds. Welcome. This is a live, raw podcast. We explore everything around faith, spirituality, and the world of the paranormal. So if you're into that, be sure and smash the subscribe button, the follow button, and add me to your lists, add me to your friend groups, to your group chats, whatever you want to do. Make sure we get this message out there. One thing I'm not going to do with this series is tell you this is this and that is that. I'm not here to tell you how to believe. I'm not here to tell you how to walk or how to do your life. I'm just here to get you to think bigger, open up your heart chakra, open up your consciousness to a bigger world of what if out there so that you can develop your own process, your own belief systems. And not just operate on one that's been given to you through doctrine or dogma. I grew up in that type of system, and I think it's time that we all think for ourselves and actually look into things on our own. I am going to be reading from the Enuma Elish, which is actually the 7 tablets of creation, or the epic of creation. Now, these tablets are very interesting. They are quite old. So all of the tablets containing the myth, also known as the Enuma Elish, found at Ashur-Kish, Ashurbanipal's library at Nineveh, Sulatepe, and other excavated sites. I'm butchering these names, guys. I apologize. This is from worldhistory.org. You can find information on that there. Also, public-library.uk/ebooks/32/54.pdf is what I'm reading from for the purposes of this. And we're going to read through the whole PDF. It is a public PDF. You can go and look through all of this. It's translated by L.W. King. So I'm going to be jumping back and forth between Book of Enoch. We're going to be looking at Genesis and really just kind of compare and contrast for the purposes of expanding our mind around this. So, but yeah, these texts, they date to 1200 BCE. So, which is really, quite old, honestly. So, an older version, these are thought to be copies of a much older version of the myth dating from long before the reign of Hammurabi of Babylon in 1792 to 1750 BCE. So I'm horrible with dates, guys. You guys go look up all the dates and timelines yourself. But I'm just trying to kind of get the information out there and get you guys started. Everybody wants to know about this. And unfortunately, all I see online is just people's synopsis of this and not actually reading from a text and kind of talking about this epic. You may have heard of things like the Epic of Gilgamesh, which, has a lot of the Goliath-type creatures in it, or what we would consider giants. So what I aim to do through this study is to try and reveal what is going on with our belief systems. Where does God of the Old Testament come from? How does Jesus, Buddha, Krishna fit into all of this? What is the origin of our faith? And is our faith systems, religious systems, political systems, and economic systems, are they simply built upon galactic systems? And we really are, for lack of a better word, enslaved into this system of control And there are certain deities, certain gods, certain extraterrestrial entities, or factions that want to help us ascend in light back to our celestial home. They understand the transmigration of the soul. They understand that this physical body is very, very temporary compared to any other type of celestial incarnation that we might have. So again, this is all out there. Very open-minded stuff, guys. Yeah, Tyler says Elohim. Absolutely. We literally see in Genesis where you see the council of Elohim. You see multiple Elohim. Even Star Trek talks about 7 of 9. We know from like Akashic record readings that there are like a seed of 7 and then 9 houses of entities and different things like that. So like all of this like higher form of galactic governmental type stuff that we merely have shadows on Earth here of. And a lot of people lately have wanted to know, like, where are you getting your data? Where do I look this up? Guys, you cannot, there is not like one written source of all of this. Everything that I share is like stream of consciousness download from like the collective consciousness, higher consciousness, God consciousness. I'm not claiming that I know anything anyone else doesn't. I'm not even saying that Ancient Aliens hasn't done their fair share for the last 20 years of Anunnaki studies. Scooby-Doo has talked about the Anunnaki, yet we know nothing about them. And I think largely that's due to the fact that the actual texts are held by scholarly libraries. And they're not really like in print. I have not been able to find a great print version of this. Now I am looking for it. Hopefully I'll have one nailed down this week, and I can actually start reading from that. But as we get going on this, I do have this PDF available if you want it. Again, it's public-library.uk/ebooks/32/54.pdf. So that's you don't actually even have to download it. You can read it on the online reader. I don't really like downloading stuff, so that's just my thing. But again, this is held by the public UK library, so I think it's, for the purposes of this type of study, something that we can and should read publicly here. So I try not to publicly read like copyrighted books and stuff like this. So there is a copyright on this, and you guys can go look that up. But again, I'm not going to read the whole thing or distribute the whole thing as a part of my program here. So with that said, I will be jumping around between this and other texts for the purpose of copyright, so that it's not any one copyright point. So the first tablet, when in the height of heaven was not named, and the earth beneath it did not yet bear a name, and the primeval Apsu who began them, and chaos, Tiamat, the mother of them both, their waters were mingled together, and no field was formed, no marsh was seen, when the gods none had been called into being, and none bore a name, and no destinies were ordained. Then were created the gods in the midst of heaven. Lamu and Lamau were called into being. Ages increased. Then Ansar and Kissar were created, and over them long were the days. Then there came forth Anu, their son, Ansar and Anu, and the god Anu. Nudamud, whom his fathers, his begetters, abounding in all wisdom, he was exceedingly strong. He had no rival. Thus were established and were the great gods. But Tiamat and Apsu were still in confusion. They were troubled and in disorder. Apru was not diminished in might, and Tiamat roared. She smote and their deeds. So if you notice it's pretty disambiguated, like it's really chopped up. We have to understand these tablets, they're like clay tablets, and not all there. I've actually got a picture of them pulled up here. And by not all there, I mean some of them half is gone, some of them 3/4 is gone. Some of them you get the second half, some of them you get the first half. these things are nowhere near what we would consider complete today. So it's not like a book that we go to the bookstore, pick up, and go, oh, yeah, they're all there. These are oral traditions passed down, scribed in clay, the origins of our creation myths. And that's where I'm super interested in this, because something that goes back this far, I mean, you're talking 4, 5, 6, even 7,000 years with some of these types of tablets, depending on which ones they are. From what I've looked at, these, from what we looked at earlier, are from around, what did it say, 1200 BCE. So, I mean, you know, we have to understand, like, these are pre-biblical texts. So that's very important to remember. And that they're not complete, and we're not going to get a complete read on these. That is okay, and that is one of the things that I pride this channel on. Great question, Alex. Alex asks, isn't Tiamat the mythical planet that was destroyed? Yeah, we have to remember, like, these gods and planets all have, like, the same names and stuff. I mean, just think about, like, Jupiter and Saturn and Uranus, and, like, we have all of these things within our, even Mars, like within our cosmos, that have names of the gods. Like, why do we live in a world that is wrought and full of mythologies, full of the gods? Everywhere you look, like, you cannot get away from it. And the more you see it, the more you see it. And it's totally just woven through our society. Jonathan Shaw says, Jacob, have you checked out the video that I sent you? I don't think guys, if you message me, I literally have probably 1,500 messages that have gone into spam in the past couple of weeks on Facebook alone. Okay. It is not a great way to communicate with me by messaging me. If you think I will see anything you message me, I love you, and just know that I am not trying to be rude at all. Between the comments and the messages and emails, and if you want access to me and you want to talk to me, the best way is join Mythos group. That is our support membership. It's $9 a month. It's our patron supporter group. We've got a private Facebook page, a private YouTube channel, as well as live calls every Saturday. If you want to talk to me, if you love what I'm doing, I'm not making people pay for access, but I'm just telling you, if you want the public access to me, you have to filter through thousands of comments a day, thousands of interactions. I have to go through and answer comments. That's how I grow this channel. That's how I take care of the community. And it's very, very rarely that I get to look at messages, because they get so deeply, I mean, it literally thousands. I don't know how I'm ever going to go through them. So, and every one of them is a book with people sending me their life story. So, I love you, but please, 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 if you want closer access to me and this group, jump into the Mythos group. That is the way that we grow and sustain this. And by proxy, you're going to have a lot more access to what we're doing and communicating and just asking questions. That's just how I have to do it at this level. We get to this point with, we've got 500,000 followers across the interwebs. That's a lot of data coming in and out every day. So please consider joining Mythos. That will get you the best access to what we're doing here. So anyway, that's on my website, cubkuker.com, cubkuker.com. One of the most affordable patron memberships out there, and the highest value in my opinion. So go check that out. Doesn't the 7 refer to the 7 sisters? Yeah, absolutely. There's the 7 sisters, the 7 stars. We've got references to this all over the Bible. And that's why I really wanted to read this, is like just going back to the beginning. And I'm going to look for a better translation that's not just in an online library. Again, I'm going to try to do like an actual book study of this. But for the purposes of today, this was a good place to start. We're kind of seeing the origin of the gods here, if you will. And then this continues on here. It says, their way was evil. Then Apsu, the begetter of the great gods, cried unto Mumu, his minister, and said unto him, O Mumu, thou minister that rejoicest my spirit, come unto Tiamat, let us go. So they went, and before Tiamat they lay down. They consulted on a plan with regard to the gods, their sons. Apsu opened his mouth and spake, and unto Tiamat, the glistening one, he addressed the word, their way, ... Again, cut off text here. By day I cannot rest, by night I cannot lie down in peace, but I will destroy their way. I will. Let there be lamentation, and let us lie down again in peace. When Tiamat heard these words, she raged, cried aloud. She grievously, she uttered a curse, and unto Apsu she spake, what then shall we do? Let their way be made difficult, and let us lie down again in peace. Mumu answered and gave counsel unto Apsu, and hostile, and then it's ... it's cut off again, and hostile to the gods were the counsel of Mumu gave. Come, their way is strong, but thou shalt destroy it, and thou shalt have rest. By night shalt thou lie down in peace. This is very hard to read, guys, so please forgive me. It's literally cut up, and I'm not sure I like this translation, even though they've got a big old copyright on it, and I don't know how you copyright something that's thousands of years old, but okay. So again, I'm not distributing this, I'm just commentating on it. So algorithms and powers that be out there, this is open commons, what do they call it, where I can commentate on it. That's what I'm doing. So and I really don't like this one, so I'm actually going to stop reading this one and try to find a better one, because this gets really deep. It literally gets into the mother of the gods birthing the first human after hybriding the genetic material of the gods and an entity or being that was already here on Earth. And that's what's really, really weird about it. And then they call that being Adam, which sounds oddly like Adam. And then they place Adam in a place called Eden, Edin. Sounds a lot like Eden, which is, by all intents and purposes, a breeding farm for trying to continue this race and make sure that this, literally the human race, everyone on the planet, was at the service of the gods, and that the gods were released kind of from their duties and able to be served and live in more of their own bliss, if you will. So you got to think, it's like if we were to, we make little robots to serve us, and then they develop consciousness and they have the creator within them, and then they decide to ascend, and maybe there's someone who cares about them within this galactic race that wants them to ascend and realize that they are divine beings as well. It's kind of like that story recycled over and over. We see it in Hollywood movies. We see it in a lot of our mythologies. And so I really wanted to open the can of worms today. I did kind of a teaser of this on, what day was it? I think it was Friday. And then I've really been gearing up, getting ready for it. And I thought I had found a good text, but I'm not a big fan of that one. I'm going to see if I can find more of a paraphrase text that'll give us the full story, that's not so discombobulated in there. So Maddie says, I love this. Thank you, Maddie. I wish I had more intel for you today, but really just for the purposes today, guys, this goes back thousands of years. I mean, these tablets, you're talking 1200 BCE, and then there's oral traditions and even other indicators that go back literally 10,000 years, literally even 15,000 years, according to some experts, some guesstimations, written on cave walls, written in stone, literally at stone monolithic sites all around the world. We're going to look at things like Teotihuacan. We're going to look at Pumapunku. We're going to look at the pyramids. We're going to look at all of these things and try to really unravel ancient astronaut theory. We're going to try to really unravel what does the book of Genesis even mean. Again, who is Jesus in all this? Who is Krishna in all of this? Who is Buddha in all of this? I'm going to read this week from the Bhagavad Gita. We're going to look at the Supreme Being and all of its psychedelic and fractal nature. Literally thousands and thousands of arms, multiple mouths with firing tongues. Like what is this? Are these all entities that are like warring for control over reality? Is it a galactic family feud? What, are we only part of the equation and there's so many other gods out there? Like, we don't know. But I do know that, like, Jesus spoke of this Father that is spirit and in truth, this Father that is light. And I really want to explore that. What does that mean? What does Amun-Ra fit into all of this? The sun god. Why did Yahweh in the Old Testament send plagues that blotted out the sun? Why does Jesus say that he's the light of the world? Why is the light of the world always trying to be extinguished? Why did the sun go dark upon his crucifixion? Why was there an earthquake and the veil torn? All of these things are super symbolic of this galactic war, if you will, that's been going on. And literally their fingerprints are all over everything, from Egypt to Mesopotamia, even the Americas. It is everywhere. And I just don't think we can deny it anymore. I think we have to look at the world around us. Ricky is asking, give me your best proof of this. Ricky, get out of here, man. You want proof of something, go look in the mirror. I mean, you can't even prove that you exist. How do we know you're not a bot or a troll? With that comment, I think we have a good insight into what you are. But seriously, go look in the mirror. You can't prove you exist. The only proof of your existence is that you have consciousness, but everyone else does too. And our consciousness is constantly at war with something trying to keep that down. Ricky says, geez, I'm using you as an example, brother, because I get those comments all the time. Literally, people lately, they want the data. They want the sheet. They want the PDF. They want the scripture. They want the holy whatever to tell them this is the story. And I'm telling you, it's not out there. It is not out there, guys. The story is not complete. The tablets have been broken. The Bible has been manipulated. The 66 books, the 88 books, the Old Testament, the New Testament, like, we don't understand it. And the whole point of this channel is to get you to go read. If you want the proof, go read the text I just gave you. Because I can prove to you that the text exists, but I can't prove to you anything around it. I can't even prove that your great-great-grandfather existed. I mean, you don't even have a picture of your great-great-grandfather or your great-great-great-great-grandfather. So how do you even know they existed? How do you know we weren't born, created instantly into this timeline, given histories to remember and believe, and we don't have any clue that they're even there or that they exist? That is terrifying. That's what I explore on this channel. Substance 777 says, turn it up. Thank you. Ricky says, gotta walk on eggshells around this guy. You don't have to walk on anything around me, but you have to think. You have to open your mind, open your consciousness, and open your heart, and stop needing everyone to prove everything to you. That is the biggest problem. That's what we battle against, is the war of consciousness here. That's why we're light warriors here. That's why we are out here wielding the lanterns of light in the world. And that's why we go in it every single day, guys. Literally because of that mentality right there. And Ricky, I love you, my brother. I'm not here to try to call you out, but I'm just using you as an example because your comment is like thousands of comments that I get. Thousands of comments of people that need to be proven to. They want to know. They want the document. They want to know that the Bible is 100% true, or that this book is 100% true. And I'm telling you guys, truth is within you, okay? It's within your heart. It's within your actual temple. It's within your spirit. And that is the only thing that I know to be true. As we look at all of these texts, they've all been changed. They've all been documented, redocumented, translated, retranslated, thousands of years, to try and trust one of those. And you may say, well, God will get his word to us. Yeah, absolutely. It's in you. You have eyes to see and ears to hear. You can put this narrative together for yourself and decipher who you serve, who you follow. Do you serve and follow the light rooted in truth and love, or do you serve doctrine, dogma, the need to have things proven to you, or do you actually have the faith to move forward with some of these abstract concepts and try to understand how they fit into your everyday life? Melissa says it's in your DNA. Absolutely, my friend. God bless you, Melissa. Melissa's a part of our Mythos group. We got Annie Logan in the chat. She's part of our Mythos group. We've got Substance77. We've got, who else did we have? Saw several people on here from Mythos. So welcome, you guys. Thank you for being here. Let's see. What if we don't come back? Says Christian or religious freaks should just like you too. Well, you know, I wouldn't say that they like me. In fact, I think that my channel's kind of a red pill, blue pill type thing for a lot of people. So it's like, do you want to wake up, or do you want to keep on with the I gotta have this proof in the document type thing? So that's really how I approach this and where I come from. I'm on my own personal journey with this, my own walk. My channel's not for everybody, and that's okay. Annie says I have Wi-Fi now. Yay, good for you, Annie. I'm so glad to hear that. Wild One says I can't stop researching and learning and reading and praying. Awesome, good for you. That's exactly the attitude we want on here. I want to wake up, scary as it is. Wild One says yes, 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 absolutely. That's the attitude we want here. Open heart, open mind. I'm in charge of my own life. I have authority. No one has to prove anything to me. I am on a perpetual journey and a quest, okay? This is not a thing where if you guys want to come on here and fact check me all the time, that's fine, because you're going to have all different sides of this. The only facts I'm bringing you are I don't know, okay? This is not a news channel. I'm not here to report something to you. I'm here to look at really old, really dirty pieces of text that are made out of literal clay, that are printed on parchments, that were spoken orally or even channeled psychically from another realm. That's what we're looking at here. This is a wild ride. This is not for you guys that want a seatbelt spiritually. This is not for people that need to have things proven to them and laid out 1, 2, 3. This is not a 12-step program. This is not for the normality of society. Unfortunately, a lot of the religious institutions are preaching right now that the doctrine that I teach is popular, and I'm here to tell you it's not. We've got a lot of followers, but very few practitioners of what I actually teach on here, which is open heart, open mind, open consciousness, connect to the divine. And that is one of the hardest things. What is up, Amanda? How are you, Seekers United? She says, absolutely. We got another Mythos member here. We also have several of our Charisma members here. If you haven't heard about Charisma, it is my light warrior training platform. It's a whole academy over on Teachable. We're super excited to have that launched now. If you guys are interested in that, you actually get admittance into the Mythos group for free with that, and it's only $29 a month. It is a heck of a deal compared to a lot of what these spiritual training gurus are doing, $500 or $1,000 or whatever. So we are doing the work over there. If you want to learn to think the way I do, practice yoga, meditation, get into the metaphysical stuff, start to understand all this and put together the pieces for yourself, because you say, I have authority in my life. I have authority over the 3D matrix. I want to shift into 5D. I want to shift into a higher consciousness, connect with the divine, with the light. Then that course is for you. Again, it is not for the faint of heart. That is like where the rubber meets the road, people that are just really ready to take that next step. So Mythos is a great place if you're looking for more community. Charisma, Light Warrior Training on my website, both of them. You'll get Mythos with it, but it's for those that you're like, I'm done. I'm done with the false belief systems. I'm done getting walked on spiritually. I'm ready to take authority and step into becoming a light warrior in this world. Then check out Charisma. I appreciate you guys indulging my marketing minutes on here, because that's what I have to do to continue doing this full time. And I try to limit the outside advertisement on my channel so that you guys only get what's relevant to you guys. So I really appreciate your help. Yes, the power is within. Saul says the path is narrow and few find it. Amen. Tyler June says it is wonderful. Thank you, Tyler. God bless you, my friend. Yeah, and we've got a ton of videos coming this week. I just uploaded another like 70 minutes of content last night to the platform, and more each week. So it is just, it's really like really eye-opening, really a unique course, not like what else is out there. So definitely going to be some revelations happening from that. Designed with Purpose says green hearts, mushrooms, and green hearts. Amen, my sister. Thank you for being here. Let's see. It came out that the guy in Egypt has been lying to the world on his facts. I don't know who that is. I don't know who the guy in Egypt is. I don't really follow world news, unfortunately. I look more at mythology and paranormal type stuff. So, but yeah, if you want to share what that is, I'm not sure who that is. Oh, from the History Channel. Oh, okay, gotcha. I'm not sure which one that was. There was a lot of different Egyptologists on there, so I'm not sure which one that was. But Designed with Purpose says, I like your haircut, Cub. Thank you very much. Annie said, I said History Channel. Let's see. Okay, cool. Thank you, RC. I appreciate that. Yeah, that wasn't really one of my favorite guys on there anyway. So let's see. Other comments. Tina asks, is it normal to feel like I'm going to hell? Like it's been embedded in my brain that this goes against everything I've been taught. Hey, great question, Tina. Deconstruction is one of the first things I work on within the course. It's been one of the hardest things with me. The only way, literally the only way that I'm here doing this, that I have the revelations I do, that I get the downloads that I do, is because back in 2020, I literally laid hands, like I did a ritual in my garage. I was done, like done with all of the false belief systems that I had, because I didn't feel the power. I didn't feel the fruit. All I felt was in fear. I still felt like, well, what if I go to hell? Or what if I was really struggling with Jesus at that point? Like, who is this Jesus, you know? And I found it weird, like I'm trying to follow God, but I didn't even like Jesus at the time. And I put my hand on this mountain bike that sits behind me over here. You may have seen it in my videos. It was kind of an achievement for me with my business. I hit a certain level in my business, and I got to reward myself by buying a brand new mountain bike, really nice, top-of-the-line bike, and I still get to ride it today. But I put my hand on it, and I said, Father, I'll give all this back. And at the time, I had a boat, which I did give it back. At the time, I had a big house in the country. I did give it back. At the time, I had a really fancy pickup, and I gave that back as well. I literally agreed that I would give all of the stuff that I had earned in life, all the business, all of the status, everything that I thought I had built myself, which was a lot, by the way. I came out of a lot of really negative sin patterns, drinking all the time, just hating myself, and really being stuck in a lot of addictive habits. I came out of that, you know, from moved out of my parents' house at 17, and then in my 20s, you know, I was pretty much a full-blown alcoholic. And so this really, it represented a lot to me. It was like my life's work, my building everything up. And I agreed that I would give it all back if I would just have truth, that I just wanted to put it all together, that I didn't care where that truth came from. I just wanted to understand who you are, Father, what this all has to do with each other. And it doesn't have to be in Christianity or any type of religious tradition for me to receive it, that I just wanted that truth. And I got to tell you, when I prayed that, it literally was me laying my heart out the way that I think that we're all supposed to do, and say, I am willing to let everything go as long as you bring me truth. And I started to get downloads after that. And by the way, flash forward to the beginning of 2022, I lost the final contract of the business that I had built, which lost me my house, my car, my boat, my camper, a ton of the things that we had in our house. We sold like 80% of our stuff, moved into a smaller house in the city, And I was able to start this. And I love what I'm doing, and I don't regret it for a minute because I get to be here with you guys every day. But everyone that comes out and says, oh, this guy just makes this up, or he just whatever, or he just wants to make money, I'm telling you, you don't have a clue. So quit judging me. You don't know where I've come from. You don't know what I've been through, and you don't know the deconstruction process that has literally been hell and back for me to go through to get to this understanding that I can even open up the Sumerian tablets and read them and go, wait a minute, who is God? Is God as we know him, Satan, and Jesus actually the light bearer? Maybe that's closer to it. Maybe this is actually a galactic battle that's been going on. Maybe we are the fallen angels or the Nephilim that are talked about in the book of Enoch, and we've been judged by the God of this world, but the light bearer is trying to ascend us back to our rightful place in the heavens. That's what I'm talking about, guys. This is out there, far out stuff. I'm not saying I'm right, by the way. I'm just saying, think about it. You will have revelations and downloads that I don't have. You will have your own. Thank you, Jamie. God bless you, my friend. You will have your own. You will have your own calling. You will have your own downloads, your own revelations, and own them. Move forward with them. Write them down. I teach all of this in my course. Start deconstructing, and it just starts with the understanding that truth is not necessarily written down in its complete form anywhere, but truth is within you and within me, and the kingdom of God is within us. Michael Atlas says it takes guys to look outside of our conditioning. Absolutely. It takes guts. Yeah, excuse me. Absolutely. Zachary, thank you for being here. Clay says Satan's rebellion occurred before human existence. We are Elohim. We will be Elohim again. Amen, my brother. Amen. I definitely vibe with that, and that's a whole lot more of the timeline that I'm on now, trying to understand all of this and return us to divinity. And then somebody asked, what do I think of serpent seed theology? So if you look up the word, the serpent, or the dragon, it's talking about the shining ones, which are these enlightened beings of light coming from the heavens. And Jesus was referred to as a shining one. He even ascended into heaven. So it's just not clear from picking up a Bible or any other spiritual text what the actual authentic narrative is. How do we know? We have to know where we're rooted. That's why it's important to open your mind, which opens your eyes. It'll open your third eye, open your heart chakra, align with love. Love is one of the most important things, and that's how I try to approach this channel, guys, with authentic love. It doesn't mean I'm right. It doesn't mean all my data comes from the same place or is all from some scholarly website. But I also am very careful. I don't just go to random blogs. I try to go to the source text and share my opinion on it. This channel is my opinion. If you value that opinion, you think that it's enlightened, you think that it has some validity in your life, great, that's awesome. If you don't, great, that's awesome. You don't have to be here on the channel. And I just say that because of a lot of the comments, and what I'm getting into in this study is going to be, I believe, some of the biggest revelations this community has had as far as deconstructing, reconstructing, remembering our divinity, and ascending as a community. I love you. Thank you for the support. If you want to support me, hit up my website, www.cubkuker.com. I love you guys. I will be back here tomorrow. I live stream podcast every single day. I'm releasing videos today as I'm getting phone calls while I'm live, even though I have it on Do Not Disturb. Thank you, Apple. So anyway, please come back tomorrow. Continue this series with me. Go subscribe to my YouTube channel. That's where the archive of all of these are going to be. It's at Cub Kuker, Cubkuker over on YouTube. You can't miss it. We've got about 7,000 followers over there. Let's double, triple, quadruple that. Let's bring that up. Thank you guys. I love you so much from the bottom of my heart. Let's find out what our origins are. Let's look at this intergalactic battle. Let's look at the Anunnaki. Let's try to decipher this for ourselves. The time is now. We have the authority. We have the information. We have the eyes to see, the ears to hear, the open hearts and the open minds. We are one people. I love you all. I will see you tomorrow. God bless you.